Good morning. Welcome to the Rune Reading Project, Day 20. In case you haven't seen it, there is an introduction for today that is separate from the reading. I do a bit of recap of what I've learned and my evolution so far, if you wish to take a look at it. And when you are ready, go ahead and take a comfortable position. Adjust your clothes so nothing's pinching or pulling. And inhale through your nose. And exhale. And inhale again, using the breath to bring your attention, your focus into your body, into your center. Feel the breath spread through the whole body to the tips of the toes and the ends of the fingers, all the way down to the diaphragm, and blow it out. And as the breath blows out, you feel a wave of relaxation falling down over your body from your head to your toes. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Okay. Today we have 4 runes, all face up. We have Othello, which is the rune of ancestors, the rune of inheritance and things handed down. We have Niwaz, which is the rune of the storm, the rune of the need fire, the darkest hour being just before dawn, the coming through with everything that you need. And here we have Jera, which is the harvest. What you put in is what you get out. And we have Lagus, which is the birthing rush, the moment when everything starts moving and you have to hope you're ready because there's no going back. Alright. Othello, the inheritance. It can be DNA. It can be land. It can be money. It can be skills. It can be a thought process, a belief system. It can be traditions. Our traditions are handed down and learned at the knees of the people we are raised by. Our traditions are cultural as well as familial. And many of our traditions develop because of the places we live. So, Othello could be either that DNA, that gift, that inheritance, or it could be something a bit less tangible, like the traditions, which is what comes to mind as we get close to the American Thanksgiving. The traditions of land and family. Many different people have different traditions for celebrating this. With the internet connected, a lot of people are doing things like the 21 days of giving thanks and expressing their beliefs and traditions on a more global setting than originally, which could lead to new traditions because we find things we like and incorporate them. But the traditions originally are based on the families and the culture, based on things that were available, based on time and weather, how far one could go on a certain day given the weather. So, to bring it back in, Othello is traditions, inheritances, things handed down. Naiwas. Naiwas is the last bit of the storm. Naiwas stands for, symbolically, the fire, the two twigs that one supposedly can use to create fire if enough friction is applied. It symbolizes the fact that once we get through something traumatic, we will still have what we need. It is the what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. It is the longer version of the Hagalaz and Transformation Rune. It speaks specifically to the fact that when you get to the end part of the journey, of the change, of the transition, of the storm, there is caution and there is hope. The caution is that sometimes that darkest moment is the one right before the light comes up. The hardest part is the 5 minutes before getting home. The most difficult time to deal with all of the pain and suffering, with all the change, even with all the happiness, with whatever it was that the storm entailed. The hardest time to deal with it is when you're almost able to put the burden down. When you see the rest, the fluffy feather bed, the shelter on the horizon. When it's just your imagination and you're doing the visualization thing and all your energy is put towards making it that far, it gives you something to focus on. It gives you a distant goal. But sometimes when the goal is in sight and you don't have to focus so hard on achieving it, then your attention goes back to all the trials and tribulations that brought you to that point. Now make no mistake, the storm can also be good things. Anything that is full of change, anything that makes us feel disconnected for a while, is a traumatic event. The reactions tend to be the same. The heart speeds up, the stomach gets fluttery, the sweat comes out. Sometimes we run and hide in our brains, sometimes we step forward depending on the type of person we are. So the storm, while we tend to view it as a difficult thing because change is difficult, simply represents that great change that Hagalaz represents as well. The storm of change, the massive energy that's flowing all around. And Naiwas itself represents the end of that storm, the coming out of the storm and seeing the end goal on the horizon, seeing those last few yards. Moving on to Jera, which is the harvest. The important thing about the harvest, of course, is that what you put in is what you get out. If you want to produce something, you need to put the work into it. If you want to find gold, you need to go out and pan for it. If you want fruits and vegetables, you need to plant the garden. If you want the paycheck, thank you, you need to put the work into it. Whatever your harvest is, whether it is a relationship or food or Christmas presents or birthday presents, short hair instead of long hair, weight loss or weight gain, whatever that harvest is, whatever that goal, putting in the work will get the results. And that moves to Lagos, which is the birthing rush. Lagos is that moment where we lose control. In birth, we know that it's coming. The body is gestating and changing, and there's the 9-month, in general, expectation period. Changes are made. We go about preparing the house, or preparing the room, or preparing the adoption. We do the thinking and we make the plans for whatever is going to happen. In the birth of an enterprise or an idea or a project or a relationship, we do the work ahead of time. We decide, what we can and can't do. We just train to do more writing or do more reading or bike up the hill, because the end goal is the actual marathon itself, triathlon. We do all the work and all the preparation, and then it is opening night. Lagos is opening night. You have done everything you can to prepare, or not, as the case may be. And now it's time for the birth. Now it's time for the project to take off. It's time for the play to open. It's time for the baby to come. And at that point, you don't have any control over events anymore. You have control over what you can do, what you continue to provide to the process, whether or not you remember your lines or are able to improvise. Whether or not you push or don't push, whether or not you take the drugs, whether or not you have trained enough to make it up the hill. But this is the moment. This is the now. The weather is something you can't control. The reactions of other people you can't control. The fact that a boot heel is going to split off, or that a red light will prevent somebody from getting to the hospital on time. These things you don't have as much control over. You can prepare and prepare and prepare, but during the Lagos rush, all you have is your training. And in a way, you have to let go now and let it happen. Let it be what it is going to be. So, let's start over and see if we can put this together. Othello, which is the inheritance and the traditions. In a way, it's the planning. Naiwaz, which is the end of the storm, knowing that you will have everything you need to continue your survival, knowing that you are almost there at the end goal. Jera, the harvest. What you have put in will determine what you get out. So however much work you have done during this storm, however much you have utilized the gifts or traditions that have been handed down, that is going to determine what is produced. How much training have you put in? How much preparation? How ready are you for this event? Because once it starts, it is going to take off, and you will have to surrender control. You'll have to go with the flow. You will be the progenitor, but you will not be the director anymore. Which feels complete. So to shorten it, sum it up really quick, Othello is the tradition or the inheritance or the skill. That is the basis of whatever is going on here. There was a big change, but we are at the end of the storm. And whatever work you have done during the storm, whatever preparation, is going to be the basis for how well this event goes. And it is coming. Any minute now, this event is going to take off on its own. There will be the birth, or the opening night, or the publication. So make sure all your work is done. Make sure you've utilized the skills that you have been given. Know that the end is in sight, and keep hold of the goal. Keep your eye on the goal. Don't let your attention wander back to what was, but focus forward to what will be, because in a little bit you're going to have to just write it out and let go and let the universe do what it's going to do. So congratulations on your impending birth. Congratulations to us all. It is never too late to prepare. It is never too late to train, or to decide that you're going to write it out the way you are. Maybe taking stock of what training you have done, what skills you have. What is that goal? What have you been striving for? What have you been holding on to get through the storm? Keep those goals. Decide, how prepared you are. Know that in the end, it is what it is. And let's pull a rune to be going away with. Alright, reversed Wunjo, reversed Ansaz, which means to me that this is a personal thing. When the time comes, there's not going to be a lot of family support or a lot of communication from the outside. It is going to be whatever it is. So as we are putting in for our harvest, as we are doing the work, as we are holding on, that is going to decide what the outcome is. So put your strengths and your goals and your needs and your desires in, and what is it that you want? Tradition is all very well, but in the end, it is what you want. It is your work. Right now, the family and the outside voices don't have as much to contribute as you do. Or their contributions aren't going to affect it as much as all the work you have done. Thank you very much for joining us. Me. Again, congratulations, and I hope you have a great day.